And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, and it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that a man waxed strong with thousands of heaven. And when it turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth fails when it feels the fire. And after I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men, out of number, from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, yet dared to fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Afterwards saw I the same man come down from the mountain, and call upon him another peaceable multitude. And there came many people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, and some of them were bound, and other some brought of them that were offered. Then I was sick through great fear, and I awakened and said, You have showed your servant these wonders from the beginning, and have counted me worthy that you should receive my prayer. Show me now yet the interpretation of this dream. For as I conceived in my understanding, woe unto them that shall be left in those days, and much more woe unto them that are not left behind. For they that were not left were in heaviness. Now understand I the things that are laid up in the latter days, which shall happen unto them, and to those that are left behind. Therefore are they come into great peril and many necessities, like as these dreams declare? Yet it is easier for him that is in danger to come into these things, than to pass away as a cloud out of the world, and not to see the things that happen in the last days? And he answered unto me and said, The interpretation of this vision shall I show. You and I will open unto you the things that you have required, whereas you have spoken of them that are left behind. This is the interpretation. He that shall endure the peril in that time has kept himself. They that be fallen into danger are such as have works and faith toward El Shaddai. Know this, therefore, that they which will be left behind are more blessed than they that be dead. This is the meaning of the vision. Whereas you saw a man coming up from the midst of the sea, the same is he whom El Elyon has kept a great season, which by his own self shall deliver his creature, and he shall order them that are left behind. And whereas you saw that out of his mouth there came a blast of wind and fire and storm, and that he held neither sword nor any instrument of war, but the rushing of his destroyed the whole multitude that came to subdue him. This is the interpretation. Behold, the days come when El Elyon will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen which I showed you before. And then shall my son be declared, whom you saw as a man ascending. And when all the people hear his voice, every man in their own land, leave in the battle they have once against another. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together as you saw them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. But he shall stand upon the mount of Sion, and Zion shall come, and shall he be showed to all men, being prepared and built, like as you saw the hill graven without hands. And this, my son, shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame. And he shall destroy them without a labor by the Torah which is like unto me. And whereas you saw that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes, which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Hushah the king, who Shalmaneser the king of Ashur led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took his counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, and go forth into a further country, where never mankind dwelt, that they might there guard their statutes which they kept in their own land. And they entered into Pirath by the narrow places of the river. For El Elyon then showed signs for them, and held still the flood, till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Azareth. Then dwelt they there until the latter time. Now, when they shall begin to come, El Elyon shall stay in the springs and streams again, and that they may go through. Therefore saw you the multitude with peace. But those that be left behind of your people are they that are found within your borders. Now, when he destroys the multitude of nations that are gathered together, he shall defend his people that remain, and then shall he show them great wonders. Then said I, O Yahuwah Adonai, show me this. Wherefore have I seen the man coming up from the midst of the sea? And he said unto me, like as you can neither seek out nor know the things that are in the deep of the sea, even so can no man upon earth see my son, or those that be with him, but in the daytime. This is the interpretation of the dream which you saw, and whereby you only are lightened. For you have forsaken your own way, and applied your diligence unto my Torah, and sought it. Your life you have ordered in wisdom, and have called understanding your mother. And therefore have I showed you the treasures of El Elyon. And other 3 days I will speak other things unto you, and declare unto you mighty and wondrous things. Then I went forth into the field, giving praise and thanks greatly unto El Elyon, because of his wonders which he did in time, and because he governs the same, and such things has fallen their season. And there I sat 3 days. Shalom, family.